Hello, 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 everyone. Good morning. How is everyone doing? Happy Thursday. Good morning, Patrick, George, up, and away. I thought you said it was a rug pull yesterday. Now it's up, and away. Good morning, Donald. Good morning, Martinez. Good morning, John. Good morning, Dave. John thinks stonks just go up. Good morning, Jacob. Coco thinks the bear market over and recession is canceled by the dip. You go right ahead. Why don't you just keep buying every dip, Coco? Hey, Chris. Morning, Ted. All right. Already data out this morning. We had the fourth quarter advanced GDP coming in better than expected. A little down from previous, but better than expected. Durable goods orders blowing it out of the water, but that's on a bunch of aircraft orders. But still, there wasn't much data in here that says the Fed should pause, let alone pivot. Let's just put it this way. Initial jobless claims coming in much better. Now, there's still weird data, I will completely admit. I'm waiting for this to get rectified at some point. But if the Fed's just looking at these numbers and not doing a deep dive, like last time it was New York numbers were insanely strong. Now it was California numbers insanely strong. Initial jobless claims not given any hint in slack in the labor market yet. Where's continuing? Continuing jobless claims coming in a little worse than expected, but not yet over that 1.1700K number. It's the minor PCE numbers coming in, just this PC numbers quarter over quarter. Forecast 3.1 coming in 3.2. Whereas course PCE expected 3 to 4, 3.9 to 4 coming in at 3.9. What else do we have on the table? See, here you go. I want to jump with the where's it? Durable goods, core durable goods X transports was still, where was that number? There it is. Was expected at minus 0.2, forecasted 0.2, but down negative 0.1. So you take out transports and it doesn't look as rosy. New home sales coming out at 9, minor. Kansas City Fed numbers, going to see how much they're still in contraction. And you got some Chicago Fed numbers at noon, which are very minor. Remember, tomorrow is PCE Friday and consumer sentiment final numbers for January stock market map. Pretty bullish run today. Tesla up big, Gap up huge. Going to be a gift to those shorts at some point, but just not yet. Oil rallying up, and your other mega caps like Google bouncing back again. It's party mode back on. Party mode on. Trade with the short-term trend. Still trailing from buy entries before. I'll give you the next key levels also. Consumer cyclical leading it. Then comm services, energy, and real estate. Only basic materials lagging. Fed watch still at that 99% for the 25 basis point, and that is under a week away now. Fear and greed solidly in greed mode. The gamma flip area 40.38. We're trading 40.60. We are in positive gamma, so this can, now remember, that means dealers sell into the rallies and buy into the dips until it drops below about 40.38 again. So, but the gamma really starts peaking out after 4,100 positive gamma. So we're going to keep an eye on that level. We had earnings. American Airlines was a beat. MasterCard was a beat. And then there's some other minor stuff after the close. Intel and Visa are the biggies. So we're going to be paying attention to that after the close. All right, where do we sit? Where do we sit? Tesla near Mike's rollover target. Again, remember, targets where I watch for something, it doesn't mean you just put something on. I will watch for a topping pattern. Why do you wish you traded pre-market? There's always something to trade. You don't have to necessarily trade pre-market. Grand Rising, Christoph. Christoph thinks it's going to 200 quick. Good morning, options 22. Oh, yeah, I'm calling for even lower now based off this. I'm calling for even lower than 70. This was not a bullish earnings report. Not bullish long term. So let's get straight to the numbers. By the way, I put on the other harmonics. Remember, we closed above them technically on Monday. 87.5. I'm still focused on the 75 target. So minor for stop raise 40.66. Then I'm watching 40.76 to 40.82. And especially that 40.82 key 75% harmonic. Then we have, there was a triple cluster here. It's still valid. I just don't have the orange line, the purple lines on, which was a prior retracement harmonic and two extension harmonics. 40.95 roughly. And then 41.31 are all the key targets to the upside. Right now, there's a pretty big, let me move up some of this since we're a long way off from that. Pretty big support coming in right around 40.50 and even slightly below that, about 40.30, 40.21. So cannot even remotely consider, unless we get some major topping pattern, which we don't have anything yet, cannot even consider getting bearish. And it's even below 40.21. It would be roughly around 40.12. And then even back to 39.70 doesn't take us to, it would just be short-term bearish patterns. Only, like yesterday, the short-term bearish patterns hitting the targets and then reversing. So that's about it, market. Nothing's going to keep the rah-rah market down at this point. Right off the open, I'm paying attention to this 40.65 area. Going into the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ, as I talked about, I'm still expecting us to tag that 200. I'm expecting us to tag it today. Then 1267, then major area because we closed above the 62.5, 12,140 to 12,151 are the next key levels up there. Beyond that, if you're trying to find a target in there, there isn't much besides splitting it right around this little key high, about 12,238. I'll bump something down there. There we go. Right there. Your major support is coming in all the way back at 11,630. Minor support, by the way, not a double top here. Minor support, I'd be looking back at about 11,835 to 11,820 area on any minor rollover play. Remember, we're getting to cycles at a top again. We're not yet there, and they're not yet rolling over. So there can still be room to run to the upside, but paying closer attention. We don't have any major bearish patterns yet. Dow still stuck in its range. We'll be watching today for a close above 33,942. If it breaks out intraday, my next target is 34,125. Key support at this point coming in right about 33,575. Other than that, not much going on in the Dow. Russell, come on, where are my lines, Russell? There they go. Still potential double top, still on the table, but a long way off from confirming or triggering. Again, we're between the 187.5 harmonic again. We break out above the highs from Wednesday the 18th. The next target is 1927, followed by 1937. Key support coming in at 1884. Let's see where we sit here with the spiders. Again, at this point, any rollover, which today your key support would be about 402.40. We break below that, the next support level is 475 area. To the upside, your major target. Remember, we closed above the 62.5. 406.03, and I'd actually bring it just in front of that level. But the technical target is 406.03. If you want the little harmonic levels, you can still use forward harmonics here for the key levels, which gives us a cluster of about 406.03 to 406.49 and an intermediate level of 404.57. And yes, to answer anybody's question also, you can also do the reverse harmonics, which for day trading, which then would give me 404.57 to 404.93 area. That's how you can find a cluster intraday on a breakout above the highs from Monday. So there's still, even on rollover plays, even if something were to happen, there's still a ton of technical support that would have to be gotten through before it gets into anything bearish mode. Qs. You got the gap. The next target is 293. The next major target, let me flip this around back to here. $292.23 to $293 is your next major target area. So that is about it. Your key support coming in at 289, and then it would be the gap fill to 287.73. I'm watching for this to get taken out in the next couple days. This little area here where there's a significant topping area right there. So that's the key levels on the Qs. Let's get through some other markets. DAX, we have now in potential. It's a little sloppy, but it is valid. Potential double top territory. So that's what I'm keeping an eye on right now. Really, this has got waiting momentum, divergences setting up. I'm just watching for the cycles to finish getting to the top and rolling over again. And potentially, if it stays in this range, the rotation zone to be out of the way. And then we have a move potentially down. So we'll be keeping an eye on that closely. Notes, nothing great yet in the notes. Want to check out this though. Again, so it does qualify right there as potential. Let's see here. So there's a little short-term potential bullish pattern. A close above 115.13, 115.25, 115.30, 116.04. Taking us potentially back to the 200 area and setting up another more significant topping pattern, potentially. That's the only thing I'm keeping an eye on so far after multiple dips into the daily rotation zone. Nothing really changes from this short-term potential bullish with the dip into the rotation zone until we get below about 114.12. Dollar index still trying to hold the 101 level. Still grinding down on the rotation zone. So I'm paying attention now to 101.61. And then my target would be 102 if it can get a pop. But not expecting a significant pop until we get something or a significant move. It doesn't have to be a pop. Because if we break down, then my target's 100. Until we get the rate hike out of the way. VIX is still just in silly mode. Crude, again, rotation back up. This is taking it into triple top, so the double top is off the table. Double top off the table, pull back to rotation zone with that 50, and now looking to continue to complete some of this bullish pattern. So 87.20, the next minor, not due to double, but the next minor target is about 84, then 87.21. Nothing new in natty gas, still going down. By the way, the potential double bottom, never confirmed or triggered, off the table. Next target 259 roughly. Gold still trailing. These are going to be interesting once it gets to reversals. Next harmonic is hit 1948. Next target 1963. The paying a close attention now to the Japanese bonds because it's closing in on the 50 basis point level again. So we'll be paying very close attention to that and watching today's lows for a below 129 for a potential rollover move, but nothing yet. Euro, just also climbing the rotation zone. Climbing the rotation zone. No fantastic patterns just set up there besides trailing from longs. Coming up to this 50% key retracement level, 109.40. Pound. No fantastic setups here just yet. If it does break out above 124.40, 125.22, Bitcoin trying to resume a little bit of rally. The next, I didn't update the retracements yet, but besides retesting this 23,800, the next key target area is about 24,460. Tesla, 158, trading 158. The major area above here is the 200 and the breakdown zone from the lows of November. So and then on a continued rally, it would be back to 180, about 176 to 179 actually. So those are continued areas, no key topping pattern yet. So this will take it above the 50. So at some point I will be watching for a gap fill, but no key pattern yet, and no need to fight the retracement move back to the weekly rotation zone. And the weekly rotation zone top is back at 180, 179. So this could continue to run higher. Going to pay closer attention once weekly cycles get to the top. Daily cycles been pinned to the top and in overbought mode, but no topping pattern just yet. Well, the dollar is not dead. It's just waiting on the Fed. So, when CPI, we had the last key CPI release, what was it, a couple weeks ago. The next thing's PCE, and then you have the next CPI is after the Fed announcement. All right, Sterling putting in a lot of information. Good afternoon, Charles. Not going to go through this. Yeah, you got lots of warnings. So let's see. Coco, the VIX will not stay broken for years, and the market will not keep going up. As always, the market does not always go up. Oh, really? I don't even know why you show up, Coco. When you say topping pattern, could you show us? Well, one I teach all the time is a double top. That's a topping pattern. You have to wait for it to trigger, though. That's a topping pattern. And it could be on different time frames. Again, yesterday, remember we had topping patterns Like in the S&P and NASDAQ, the S&P came down hitting the first and second target, the NASDAQ first, second, and third, the Russell first, second, and third. Those were short-term topping patterns. They were not major. A major topping pattern, which doesn't have to trigger, would still be like this Russell. Why is it major? Because it's on a daily basis. That's significant. Yesterday's was just a little mini pattern. It was this, and it hit all three targets. So that's a minor pattern. And then we got the reversal. We still have a major pattern. Does that mean you short the market? No, because this pattern's not confirmed. So it's a something to keep an eye on that gives me a key level to watch. If the rally continues, this pattern could be invalidated. And this is where I always say, well, people say, well, you put a pattern up on a potential pattern up on the chart. Yeah, because it defines a key level for me to watch. If that level's not taken out, there's no action to take. It's a potential. It's Humpty Dumpty sitting on the wall. He doesn't have to fall off. That's where people mistake. Also, Russell is now, it's tested this area 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now finally breaking through it. So the Russell could still see some juice left in the tank, unless we have a topping pattern trigger. Ask me after the close on that one, dark screen. No. Just use the broad market tick for the IWM. Just use the NYSE tick. So that's where we sit. All right, George is thinking for a great question for myself and Bob. Bob will be here after the close. You are welcome, Paul. So I don't even need to respond to some of this. Again, the other example, I'll just give another example. We had that potential topping little mini pattern in crude. Never triggered. We also have within, we had the triggered and confirmed double bottom. Now you could have had a double top play in here that now turned into triple top, but we have a triggered pattern. So I'm expecting the higher prices. But this different time frames, remember. Oh, I forgot though. Can we get the mantra crude always goes up? Doesn't crude always go up? With that, I will see everybody. Is the cup and handle in the Russell now triggered? It triggers officially on a closing price. It's not an official trigger yet. It's a closing price above the peak of what's ever higher, part of the cup or part of the handle. It has to be closing above the highest high. In this part, it would be the left-hand side of the handle for the official trigger. All right. I need to jump into the open. I will see everybody later today with Bob. Have a good trading day. Talk to you later. Bye.